Fellas, do you smell that? That's the smell of 1-0 to start off 2022, baby! Let's go. Oh my god, I am absolutely stoked. What a performance by the boys last night. That was absolutely amazing. You cannot possibly wipe the smile off my face today, and I'm going to enjoy tonight's game to sit back, relax, hope and thank you all drink, because, we still hate the pies, but we're going to sit back and relax tonight now. For the entire week, watch all matches. I might even do a watch-along for you guys in one of the matches, probably tomorrow. I'll see which one I want to do, and I'll stream it, do a watch-along to it and all that, just to get a watch-along for the week, since I couldn't do Carlton's game yesterday. I was watching it with the family. But let's get straight into it. What a win! Oh, 7 goals in the last term. I don't even fully know where to start. Where do we start? Which area on the ground do we even start with today? I don't know. Seriously, I am in such a happy mood after what went down last night. And you know what? Now we'll get into it. Let's break it down. We'll just go straight in. We'll start with the forward line. Durden. Oh, Durden, you little star. Big shoes to fill with that number on your back, number 19, who was Mr. Eddie Betts. And I reckon he filled that role perfectly yesterday. He kicked a couple. Some crucial goals too. He kicked crucial goals to really get us back into the game. And it was so good to see Durden play yesterday. For Mackay and Curnow, Curnow, he's still come back from an injury, 2 years he was out for, played the remainder of the season, 4 weeks or something at the end of the last season, when we were, nowhere to be seen in finals or anything. We were out at that point. And now, start hopefully playing a full season. He can grow his confidence back, bag a few, because we're definitely going to need him for the upcoming weeks, and just for the entire season for sure. For Mackay, he kicked a goal. Mackay's back on the score sheet already in 2022. He only kicked one. And then he shanked one too. So I think he kicked 1 goal 1, maybe even 1 goal 2. I'm not entirely sure. Excuse me. But yeah, look, Mackay, it's still interesting with Mackay because you don't know what you're going to get sometimes, I did not know what I was going to get watching Mackay yesterday. After the first bounce, I was like in my head the entire time, I was like, how's Mackay going to play? Is this going to be a good performance? Is he just going to maybe snag a couple, Is he even going to touch the ball? Curnow barely touched the ball. They got 1 mark, I think, in the 4th quarter and kicked it behind. So yeah, he kicked 0 goals 1. But it's just very interesting because I wasn't particularly too happy with Curnow and Mackay's performance. But at the same time, Mackay kicked a goal, got some important marks to be... Oh, no, and Curnow. Curnow and Mackay both moved up the ground quite a bit, and they took some marks, near the centre circle. So, it was, so that was pretty helpful, to be fair, slow down play. That's another thing I actually want to just get straight into, just before we get into the back lines, actually. Also, Always and Silvani. Silvani's the main one. We'll get to Always first. I didn't see much from Always yesterday. I don't even think he kicked one. It's a bit hard to tell. Durden and Always almost look a bit similar, just though, the numbers are much different. That's how I kind of tell them apart. But I'm not too sure if Always actually kicked one yesterday. If he did, that obviously just proves I didn't see much. So he didn't do too much. Durden was definitely the standout in our forward line yesterday. And the guy I'm about to get into now, Silvani. What a ripper. He hit the post 3 times. He could have had 4 goals yesterday. We could have really, really belted Richmond. But Silvani had a great game, taking some very good contested marks, just good leads and all that inside 50. It was just an all-around good performance by him, and I'm tremendously happy with how he played yesterday, absolutely. Talk about the back line now. I need to get this out of the way. Sam Doherty is an inspiration to just all of the AFL. Seriously, that's not even me being biased. I looked at all the comments, when Doherty kicked his goal yesterday, which, by the way, legit had me in tears, man. Just seeing all the boys get around him, the crowd roar on top of that. basically as soon as it came off his boot, because it was like going straight through the middle. And just the emotion on Doc after the game too, man, it just had me tearing up. I was like, oh my god, this is just the most beautiful moment I have seen in a while in the AFL, and it's just so good to see. Seriously, had me I talked to a few other mates, and they had them all tearing up too, and I didn't even go for Carlton. You know, they're Hawthorn supporters, some are St Kilda supporters. You know, like I was talking to a few, and like they were all like, "That's just a great moment." Even my mate, the Collingwood supporter, he was like, "Now that's a good moment." Like it was just such a terrific thing to happen. Did he get a bit lucky from the 50? It's being talked about a little bit, which it shouldn't be, because you know Doherty legit came back from cancer, recovered, and bang, straight back into the AFL season. But in my opinion, it was a 50. And I'll tell you why. I can't show it because I don't want to get copyright. But legit, if you actually listen to what the umpire said, he said stand, right? Because of the stand rule. And as soon as he said stand, he moved. It wasn't much. That's why most people probably didn't see it. It wasn't much, but he moved a couple centimeters. Okay, like his feet went off the ground and like moved like just a tad, legit a tad, and that's gonna be 50 every day of the week, because the stand rule, you must stand. I know they're very strict this year, the umpires. I saw that yesterday. I saw that in Melbourne Bulldogs, but it is it's a rule at the end of the day. They've added the rule for really more like I forgot what they added it for, like for more like I guess entrance into 50 sort of thing, like they can stand there so it's easier to get around the man on the mark, where they legit can't do anything. They've got to be flat-footed until he kicks the ball. The only thing he can do is jump in the air and go for a smother. That's the only thing he can do, the guy on the mark. Otherwise he's got to stay flat-footed until he plays on. Until the umpire actually says play on. Like if you do it too early, you're gonna get 50 against you too. But yeah, Doc, man, inspiration to everyone. Like all the comments I saw on the AFL after he kicked that goal, just absolutely everyone is giving him so much credit, like they should be. Like he's such a motivator, so strong. Just everything he's been through. That's the second time he's had cancer, by the way, second time, and he's came through like an absolute champ, and it's just so amazing to see, and I'm so incredibly happy for him. Now, Wiedering is a bit of a different one, because he's normally our big All-Australian he's been robbed twice of All-Australian now, but he normally like goes alright, obviously, to get at least a nomination for All-Australian, and I didn't see too much of him yesterday. Like he was like playing. He was definitely the most defensive player in our team. That is probably because he plays really far back in the back line. But he was without a doubt the most defensive player in our team. Like I don't even think he left the I don't even think he passed the bloody center circle. I don't think he did it once. Like, he was playing really defensive, and then there was Sard, Williams, and McGovern I'm going to get into shortly. But Sard and Williams, they love pushing up. Williams didn't have a great game. Sard, I was really happy with his performance. I think he had a good game. Now, McGovern, wowee. First real game, get to see him as a defender, and I reckon he handled it like a champ. Took a great specky, too. A great little specky, which ended up actually leading to a goal, which was pretty good. So I was very pleased with his performance. And last but not least, actually, I've got to get into this before I get into the midfield, and that's DeConning, back in the forward line, and ruck. But he, 3 minutes in, he took an absolute screamer, and then he didn't do much after that. And he shanked a kick to top it off. But you know what? After watching the Amy community series, and how many times he'd bloody fly up to try to get the ball, like just go for absolute bloody out of this world screamers. Like, he was trying to take Mark of the Year in round one. That shouldn't get Mark of the Year, but it's probably Mark of the Round. That's a stupid thing to say. We're only 2 games into the first round of the season. But I am just all around really happy with how just the team performed in general. And, like, going back to De Koning, he didn't do too much, but he's still getting there. You know, he hasn't really played a full season. He had to play most of 2021 due to the fact that Pidnett injured himself early on in the season, like round 4 or something. So that doesn't necessarily help at all. But in saying that too, just all around great performance by the boys, and now we get into the midfield. Where do I even start? There was no midfielder who played. Actually, no. Zach Fisher, little beauty, loved him. Played amazing. I've always backed Zach Fisher. I just always thought he's got the potential. He's got the speed. He's a great kick at goal. Like, he's got quite a bit to him. He's got a lot of attributes, and it's just really great to see from Fish. But anyways, that's it with forwards and defenders. We're just going to jump straight into the midfield now, and like I said, I don't know where to start. Chera, Stewart, Kennedy, and Crips. Like, the fact that I'm even putting Kennedy in there shows how good of a game he had, because that was a ridiculously good game by Kennedy. First of all, the first goal of Carlton of 2022 goes to Kennedy. It was just a looping ball, went higher than the goalposts, and it's just gone straight to the middle still. It was an unbelievable goal. Kennedy, like most people, probably would have ridden him off pretty early. You know, like, he wasn't too good early on for us. Like, I'm talking like 2019, 2020. And I've always said, I'm like, you know what, if someone gives this guy a chance, he's not going to disappoint. I reckon he will be a great midfielder for us, at least until Walsh comes back. And that's another thing I actually need to get into later. But Kennedy did exactly as he should have. Kicked a goal. I think he might have kicked 2. But anyways, he kicked at least 1. He's gone in with a clear head, racked up 25 plus, I want to say. Excuse me. But, because I believe there was it 2 players on our team got 30 plus disposals, and it was Kennedy. Kennedy and Crips got 30 plus. We'll get into Cripper soon. Let's move on to Stewart. He kicked the goal for us. Our entire midfield kicked the goal for us. Crips kicked 3. Stewart kicked the goal. Shara kicked the goal. Kennedy kicked the goal. Cripper kicked the goal. Like, seriously, this is what I'm talking about. This is what we needed. And we still have a bit of work to do in terms of 4 quarters, because the first quarter was pretty shocking. And conceding late in the third quarter to bring it back to 15 points. That was terrifying as a Blue supporter, because I was like, oh no, here we go. And then they kicked the first goal of the fourth quarter, and I was like, here we go again. I was about to leave, but then, I stuck with them, because I was legit like my mates in the group chat at 3/4 time. I was like, you know what, boys, we have great last quarters, and I wasn't wrong. It was a 42-point turnaround, right? Clearances in that last quarter, ready to just get this in your head, 17-2 in favour of Carlton in clearances just in that last quarter. It was amazing. We truly did deserve that win. Like, it's not like we got lucky or anything. Yeah, people are going to argue with some 50s that went against them, but at the end of the day, those are the new rules. Those are legit the new rules. Sorry guys, I don't know what happened with my camera, but these are the new rules, and it's, at the end of the day, you got to follow them. You got to do and obey the rules. Like, you can't just get around it, Let's talk about Chera. Chera! I loved him. Absolutely loved him. What a game. Him and Chera. I'll talk about him at the same time, because I didn't talk too much about Stewart. Like, seriously, they both racked up 25 plus, I believe. It was all of our mids got 25 plus disposals, if I'm correct. And me saying all mids, I mean Crips, Kennedy, Stewart, and Chera. All 25 plus, if I'm correct. And it was just, this is what I mean by a team effort, man. This is the team effort we've been waiting for. This is what we've been dying to see. Not only the drought, bang, knock it out. It's in the trash can now. This is what we've been waiting for. We have been waiting and waiting and waiting for a full team performance from the very first siren in the first quarter to the very last siren in the last quarter. This is what we want. Shearer and Stewart both kicked great goals. Well, at the end of the day, they were both set shots from 50-metre penalties. In fact, Shearer got himself 100. Now, the first 50 for Shearer, that's the new rule that got added this year with abuse towards umpires, where you literally cannot say a single word to him, or it's going to be abuse, and you're going to get given a 50. Second one was fair. Like, seriously, he wasn't letting him run forward. Like the Richmond player was standing right in front of him, just running, and gave away 100 metre. And Hardwick was absolutely fuming after that, and I don't blame him. And then Cherry goes on to kick his goal. Stewart got a 50 for I forgot who it was, but the bloody Tigers player went on, and it was a free kick to Stewart, kicking in danger. And for some reason, I don't know how he possibly thought it was his free kick, but he thrown it to the Tigers player thinking it was his free kick, and obviously, bang, 50, and then Stewart bags his goal. Now let's talk about the man himself, Patrick Crips. Is he a Brownlow contender this year? Question mark. Is he back to where he was early 2018, 19? Question mark. I don't know. I can't tell you. But what I saw from him against a good Richmond side, only missing a few players, was amazing. Absolutely amazing. 3 goals, got himself in the best possible positions he could have done. Kicked 3 goals, racked up 30 plus disposals. You couldn't ask for much more from bloody Paddy Crips. He did his job tremendously. And I tipped Carlton, man. I tipped him. I was like, you know what? I am confident. And that's why. Am I going to tip him against the Doggies? That's a story for a different day. Which they'll be coming out, of course, later this week, that preview. But this is a review. And I just want to say, if we want to review the whole team's performance right now, I'd give it like a solid 9 out of 10, especially just because of that last quarter. Like, there was a lot of fumbles early from us in that first quarter, and that's what costed us the most. Like, we got plenty of the ball, just our kicking was so inaccurate. It was ridiculous. I was getting so mad watching us try to kick it inside 50 and it just coming off the side of the boot. Just out of nowhere, like, what are you doing, man? Like, it happened with Crips, Kennedy, Stewart, like, Cherry, they all did it. Even our backman, Saar did it, Wiedering did it. The only man that really stayed strong in that backline was none other than Sam Doherty, take a bow son. He also got, I believe, 25 plus touches. That was absolutely incredible. But guys, man, I might leave it there. I've basically covered all areas which I'm meant to do. And honestly, I am just so stoked. I didn't really come onto this knowing too much of what to say. So I just tried to cover forwards, mids, and defenders as long as I could. And bang, it's almost a 20-minute video. But seriously, guys, it is a great win. It is just the start we needed, especially with Sam Walsh out. We have time. He can heal through a bit more now if he needs. It's entirely up to him now when he comes back. If we started 0-2, a lot of doubts would have been going in the head. But that's fine. I'm tremendously happy with that performance against Richmond. We win by, I want to say, 20-something points. High 20-something points, I think. And I am so happy to say that the Blues are 1-0 for the first time in a full decade, 10 years. That's going to be me done for now, guys. Hey, I love every single one of you. If you guys are enjoying these reviews, previews, and I post some clips during game, did you see I posted Doherty's goal, which will appear bloody somewhere around there at the end of this video, then feel free to go watch that. But boys, the Blues, I'm not going to say they're back, but the Blues are 1-0 in 2022. Please like this video, guys. Subscribe if you are new. It's been your boy, Vinny XPL. Go Blue Baggers. And that is me done for this video, guys. I love you guys. Peace out, fellas. Have a good day.